So I was just watching a video from the Dadvocate called Microcheating is Getting Out of Hand. And with the examples that were given, it was just absolute lunacy. Alright? I can give some examples that actually aren't weird. Based on your personal lived experience, that would seem weird as hell if you haven't had this weird experience. Alright? Like, for example, the one that ended up being saying, like, helping somebody get jewelry on would be considered cheating. All right, here's a question. Are they disabled? Do they have a torn rotator cuff, or do they have limited range of mobility in their arm? If they do, that's not cheating. You're literally helping somebody who's disabled do something that they're physically incapable of being able to do. Another one that ended up getting said, moving the hair out of somebody's face, all right? If you're doing it like that, if it's like an intimate moment type situation like that, yeah, that right there, that's definitely a line crossed. But now the question is, are you giving the example in a moment like that? Or are you giving the example of somebody with long hair asking a guy with long hair, hey, can you help me go ahead and put my hair up right quick so that way I can go ahead and get back to doing what I needed to do? Whatever that activity that they need to get to, that they're having a hard time being able to go ahead and reach their hair in full, that it will be a lot more convenient and, time saving to have that person assist with putting their hair in a ponytail. That right there, that would be an example of not cheating, not an intimate moment, literally just helping somebody else to go ahead and be able to conveniently and time-sparingly get back to whatever task it was that they were getting to, that their hair being in their face would go ahead and be an inconvenience. All right? Another one that ended up getting said, apparently, because she kept saying one body, two bodies, three bodies. Like, all right. Another one that ended up getting said was, if the person you're with is sober and they're with somebody that's drunk, and the person that's sober, is in a relationship and gives that drunk person a ride home, like the advocate ended up saying, if they ended up doing that and the lines were crossed and everything, that's predatory. Like, that's rape. Like, that really is one of those, you got bigger things to worry about. You shouldn't be worrying about the factor that they were going ahead and trying to prevent somebody from drunk driving, because, consequences to actions. Like, for example, what if that drunk person ends up going ahead, getting into a car accident, and killing a family with kids? Or even just a family without kids? Like, would you rather that drunk person have that person that offered to be a designated driver be like, I'm in a relationship, nah, you gotta drive drunk? That's absurdity, And then ultimately, too, you don't think about the factor that the person that ends up going ahead and driving drunk could potentially end up killing somebody else, because of the fact that they're irresponsible enough to get behind the wheel of a car, all because of the factor that you wanted to claim that it was micro-cheating, to go ahead and be the designated driver for somebody that literally is so incapacitated that if they were to go ahead and get on the road, could go ahead and endanger anybody and everybody around them. All right? Car equal 10,000 pound, death trap. Okay? Big metal death trap. Ultimately, that's a big weapon. So really, really evaluate what you're considering cheating. All right? Especially because if I'm like, say for example, if I was in a relationship with somebody, they were sober, the people that were around them ended up getting drunk, and they went to go ahead and be designated driver for that person, my first response that I'm going to say is, I'm actually proud of you that you went to go ahead and assist them in getting home. And ultimately, too, the part that, that girl ended up being short-sighted on that too. If they're sober, but everybody else is drunk, the alternative would end up being to go ahead and have those, people that are drunk go ahead and stay stationary with the person that's sober. And ultimately the risk on that is, what if the person that's drunk ends up going ahead and saying, screw it, I am throwing away all inhibitions, whatever happens, happens. This is an opportunity for me to go ahead and be able to lunge and do whatever I want to, because of the factor that ultimately I can blame it on the alcohol. So if the person, all the person has to do is try to go ahead and keep me subdued and at a distance to keep me from going ahead and getting handsy. All right? Because remember, there are some people that ultimately, when they end up going ahead and drinking, they get handsy. All right? So if you're with somebody that at an event that, so drinking socially would be acceptable, goes ahead and chooses not to drink, don't call them boring for not drinking. Don't go ahead and chastise them for being like, nah, I'm going to stay sober. You don't know their reasons for staying sober. Hell, for all you know, the reason that they're staying sober is because of the fact that when they get drunk, they get into fights. And they don't want to end up going ahead and randomly blacking out and start beating the shit out of somebody that didn't see it coming, because of the fact that the person that wanted to stay sober doesn't know how to handle their alcohol. All right? These are things you got to think about. All right? And trying to say, too, that the person that you're with, letting a female put makeup on them, that's, that right there would be considered cheating. What if the person works at a haunted house? What if they're literally letting somebody put makeup on them because of the factor that it's a literal job requirement, because they're a haunter for a haunted house? Or because of the factor that, they're taking part in a theatrical performance. So ultimately, there needs to be makeup put on for whatever role that they're playing, so that way that, they can fully go ahead and look like the character. That's not weird. That's literally part of the costume aspect. So, this whole craziness trying to be like microcheating in that aspect, it's absurdity. Not to mention that, but ultimately, if a guy's niece or nephew or godchild ends up going ahead and saying, I want to put makeup on you, I don't give a fuck how much of a big brawly badass you think you are or that you look like. You gotta go ahead and end up crushing that kid's spirits because of the factor that some random person on the internet viewed it as cheating for you to go ahead and let that little kid put makeup on you. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck how tough a facade you put on. You're gonna say yes to the kid putting makeup on you. Like, it is what it is. Honestly, at that point, understand, if that kid wants to put makeup on you and ask you to go ahead and play Tea Party with them, let's be real. They go ahead and throw them puppy dog guys on and be like, please, I don't know why you don't want to go ahead and play something so innocent with me. You're gonna cave. The alternative is them running rambunctiously, acting like potentially complete and total assholes because they want to throw a fit, because of the factor that they wanted to do something that was safe, that wouldn't damage and destroy any property, that literally would keep them entertained, allows them to go ahead and use their imagination, and lets a kid be a kid. Y'all are just doing way too much and going way too far. And by the way, another example with the whole jewelry thing would be, what if you're part of a wedding party and you're actually just helping people that, are like, hey, we need to go ahead and do a rush change. Can you help me go ahead and clasp this necklace? Sure. Literally, why gotta read so deep into it? It really isn't that deep.